welcome back to the channel. Merry Christmas. I hope you had a lovely Christmas season, a holiday season. I'm using the nesting hearts, the Geo Hexies, the lemon ink, and this cute little stamp set, and it is called Be Yourself. So I've cut, as you can see there, I've used one of the dies for the nesting hearts, and I've used that to make myself a little stencil. So we're gonna stencil over a stencil, basically. And so we get our Geo Hexies in the middle of our heart. So I'm just tapping off a little bit here and down. Yeah, so I'm actually doing the voiceover this before Christmas. So hopefully it was a good Christmas. We shall see. I think it's meant to be, my son told me that it's meant to be wet and cold and rainy and everything else here in Melbourne. We always go down to the beach. So who knows? Is it just me? Weather doesn't really warm up. Well, the Australian peeps, the weather doesn't really warm up till sort of coming up closer to getting back to school. You know, January for us. And then it warms up and then you're at school and it's nice and warm. But anywho, so this is a new stamp. I've run my hands over it just to get rid of any residue. This is Love You stamp set. And I just thought we'd use the best wishes down the bottom this is actually going to ground our little image. We're going to do a little bit with the die cut because I don't have the die cut with this. I'm not sure if there is one. I haven't checked on that, but I'm going to cut it all out and then we're going to do a couple of things, and she's going to be standing on our sentiment just to ground it. If you sort of have seen any of my videos, I do like to ground my images. We've got E04, E11, E01 and E00 and E000 for our skin. Now we have to have a discussion. I like to do my hair. I like to do my skin. I like to do my hair. Because why do you do this? Because the skin is lighter. It looks quite dark, but once you get all the images colored up and everything else and gets all prettified, then it is nice and light. We need to pause that for a second. My colouring here, so I've got E29, E25, and going to go down to E21. Now I've got my wings there. Now I'm not a mother of girls, so I'm not up to date with my wing material, but generally speaking, it's usually like not quite a tulle, but a meshy colour, meshy type of stuff. So this is you're still going to see things that are behind it, and it's supposed to be quite close. So I'm keeping it down to the E25 and E21, just lightly going through that wing. I'm also going to go over the top of that with B000, just because I liked it, basically. Okay, let's get back to what I was talking about. Don't do this. And I do it so much, and one day you're going to think that I'm going to learn, but I haven't yet. I get carried away and I colour these things and then I go, you're silly. Don't do this. Colour lighter colour first, especially when you come to red. Red is very known to be pulled into other images, but black can do it. So at this point, I have to be now very careful when I get up to the yellow, not to pull the black into my yellow and muddy it up. I am lucky that did not happen, but I did have to be super careful with doing that. So this is a point where you sort of go, yeah, don't do it. Listen to Nat, don't do it. It happens, but what are you going to do about it? I'm not starting this again, so we just try and do this extra carefully. So we've got YR17, YR15, YR. There's no R. So we've got Y17, Y15, Y11, and YOO. And I'm trying to keep my colouring not to have too many bits and pieces, like lots of different colours and everything else. The puppy dog there, I am not going to colour. The one off to the side, I'm not going to colour him. He is stashed away for another day, but they stamp all in one go, so that's what we did. I am going to use the little bee, but again, he's going to be kept very simple. I have not, obviously, with that, what I was trying to let you know then, that Y17 was not going to be used. So I'm just trying to keep it a little bit lighter with this, just to make it a little bit different. Did it work? I don't know, but it's okay. So we've just got a little bit of honey hanging out over the jar. I've kept it all yellow because, you know, honey's yellow, golden sort of colour. And we're just trying to keep a little bit of a variation, a little bit of difference. But what I'm actually going to do is put a little bit of glossy accents over that. This is just the darker brown, the E29, going over the top of the label on the honey and over the wings a little bit of tip to tip action just to try and blend that off, because when we did it with the hair, and to have streakiness in your hair, that's good. That's good. Hair is streaky, especially if you have highlights or lowlights, but you know, that's good. My little puppy dog, he's so stinking cute. The E57 I've used on the patch and elsewhere just a tiny bit. The patch over his eyes, just purely the E57. I'm going to go down to E53, so just with 3 colours because he's just little. And there is our little girl, pretty much all done. Just has to have a little bit of fun in touches. That's what you should do. Put the black in last. All right, put the black in last, people. So you can see my little puppy dog up there. Now, because I want her to stand on my sentiment, if I left the shadow around the image, we're going to call it shadow, the white outline, it's going to go over my best wishes and make it a little bit, just make it hider. So we're just trying to finish it off a little bit. The little bee, I've coloured it with very simply, and it's just going to be the Y15. I didn't show you that because it's pretty straightforward and very, very simple. This is where a little bit of our glossy accents. So we're almost done with this card. I've left her hanging out the side. I'm not going to trim that off because I quite like things overlapping the edge of the card. It's not the card base, it's just the panel on top of it. Using a little bit of stickles on the wings and a couple of dots here, there and everywhere. That's all dry. I've come back a little bit later on and we're going to raise it up with a bit of foam mount. And that is our card. So we've got New Year's coming up. I hope you have something amazing planned. If you like what you've seen, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. It really helps my channel. I'm just a little channel. And I wish you the very best. And I will talk to you, let's be honest, next year. Take care. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye.